Well, we have finally reached what looks like perhaps the end of MSNBC and CNN. Today, we have the ratings, and they are existentially bad. After Rachel Maddow has essentially exited MSNBC, Jen Psaki circled back, but audiences did not. And now the thought is, these cable channels may not survive much longer. We've got the data, we've got the stats. They're so bad, you won't believe them, but they're real, folks. They're real. Sit tight. Let's get at it. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel that continues to bring you the news of all things entertainment. And by the way, when it's the news entities of these entertainment organizations, we're happy to go there and talk about how the advertising, how the ratings, how the audiences are going, and cable news is in our purview. Today, we're talking about MSNBC, specifically, although to some degree CNN. We're here to tell you, this thing is on life support. This is as bad as it can get. And if you don't believe me, if you don't believe this, sit tight. We've got the data. Click the like button. Here we go. All right, out of TV Insider, Martin Holmes. MSNBC ratings without Rachel Maddow. Who's top now? That's a very kind headline for what's really going on. Existential crisis at MSNBC, I think would suffice for what to say. The cable news ratings are in for last Friday, May 9th, including Jen Psaki's final rating for her first week in the 9 p.m. slot with her new show, The Briefing, which replaced the Rachel Maddow show. Now, as you all, if you've watched the channel, know, CNN and MSNBC are truly circling the drain to the point we're not sure they're going to last much longer. MSNBC was basically being held up by a single show. Both CNN and MSNBC have ratings so low right now that mid-sized YouTube channels are beating them roundly, soundly. It's bad. Rachel Maddow was holding the entire network up. Seriously. She's gone. So how does it go? According to Adweek, citing Nielsen numbers, Psaki brought in 1 million total viewers. That number doesn't matter so much, okay? We're going to get to the real number in just a minute. 1 million, though, is not good. To put this into perspective, Fox News is pulling millions of viewers. I think Gutfeld is getting excess of 4 to 5 million, okay? But again, that number doesn't matter. It's the next number that matters. This is why MSNBC, this is bad. This is raise every red flag, hit every alarm bell you have bad. 66,000 in the demo.
Whoa.
Folks, I'm gonna put this into perspective for you. We beat that here on this channel in a single video regularly. I'm not trying to toot the horn. We're not. There are bigger YouTube channels by far. I want you to understand what we're talking about here in terms of bad. MSNBC has thousands of people that work there. They got 66,000 in the demo. 66,000. This was down slightly from her Thursday numbers, which stood at 1 million total viewers and 98,000 in the key demo. The demo, that's the people who buy stuff. So what that means is that out of the million people watching, 90% are like 70 years old and not buying anything. And we love our 70-year-old viewers. Folks, we're not trying to be mean to you. We're trying to say that the people who buy things, generally 25 to 55, that's who they need to be watching. And they are in danger territory here. Psaki, who previously served as former President Joe Biden's White House press secretary, took over the Tuesday to Friday 9 p.m. slot from Maddow and has been hosting 5 nights a week for the first 100 days. Elsewhere on MSNBC, Chris Hayes brought in 932,000, 87,000 in the demo. The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell hit 898,000 total viewers and 56,000 in the demo. Stephanie Rule got 635,000, 43,000 in the demo. This is awful. This is unsustainably awful. Once Maddow left, and she's doing 1 show a week now, and she gets this insane salary. Once she left, the viewers that she was pulling in, the people who came in early to get ready for her show, they're not there. The people who left the TV on after she went off, they're not there. So all the other shows are collapsing too. How is this being reported? Well, the Daily Mail has it this way. MSNBC host Jen Psaki suffers humiliating blow after taking over primetime show for Rachel Maddow. I would say it's MSNBC. This is by James Gordon. It says Jen Psaki took over the coveted 9 p.m. Tuesday, Friday slot on MSNBC last week, but just 2 nights into her broadcast, viewership has crumbled. Yeah, we'll circle around to that. It says Psaki, a former White House press secretary, replaced Rachel Maddow with a new show titled The Briefing, but her sudden ratings collapse appears to be one of the most humiliating flops in recent cable news memory. Now, when it says that it's one of the most humiliating flops in recent memory, you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, this was the biggest show on MSNBC. It's the only big show on MSNBC. This is not just a flop of a single show. This is the entire channel going down in flames. After building momentum with her Sunday show Inside, Psaki was elevated by MSNBC President Rebecca Cutler as a face of the network's new era. Goes on to talk about Maddow dropping to once a week now, and it continues to talk about just how terrible this is. Psaki launched with 140,000 in the demo on Tuesday. And again, folks, by Wednesday night, she was down to 1 million viewers and 65,000 in the demo, and it's continuing to go down. MSNBC can't survive this way. This is actually so bad they can't continue. Something has to change. I don't know if they pay Maddow even more to do the show every day, but this channel's over otherwise. They can't survive with 60,000 in the demo or less every single hour. I can tell you how much that pays for them, and it might get half a dozen people, but it's not paying for 1,000 employees. Panel, what say you? Are we seeing the very end now of MSNBC and even CNN, whose ratings are worse?
First of all, her demo. Listen, the 100K wasn't that great to begin with. Her demo is so small that you won't even be able to track it soon, which means there's no network sync. There's no point in doing any cross advertising. There's no reason to even go seek out advertisers because they're not going to make their money back. But I also think this speaks to the left's cognitive dissonance. Psaki, for a very long time, was the public face of Joe Biden is fine. He's spry. I watched him slay a tiger with my hands last week. He is the smartest, most capable, alive person in the history of people being alive ever. And then he was in there remaking a Weekend at Bernie's. And not even the first one. The second one. Let's tell you how bad things were going over there. So when she comes out to talk, she has zero credibility and probably even shoulders a little bit of resentment from the younger viewers. The demo they're chasing is the new media demo. They have, and more so than probably your Gen X latchkey kids and elder millennials, this younger group has a distinct disdain for the old media, and it's showing here. And MSNBC is very desperate, has been desperate for a very long time to hold on to what they had. The big difference here is that Maddow, for whatever reason, was able to forge herself into a brand separate from MSNBC. So her name carries value. So she had her people who watch and will watch no matter what. How that has parlayed itself into $25 million a year for one night is beyond me. But hey, bless her, it's good work if you can get it. But right now, it's not going to get better. It's just not going to get better. You ran down the list of hosts, and the only thing I can tell you about any of those people is I remember when Lawrence O'Donnell had a heart attack on air because someone was hammering something in the background. That is how uninteresting MSNBC is.
Let me show you how bad things are. Yellow Flash, good friend of the channel. Don't know if Yellow Flash is watching right now. Much love over to Yellow Flash. Flash has this. 57,000 views. We're going back 7 days because we like to get the full tally. And in the first few days, you don't get the full tally. He did a video called Tariffs Just Screwed Marvel. 57,000 views. Silenced Last of Us Season 2 creator strike. 82,000. Blame and I don't know if we can say it, 40,000. Talks about the crash out of one piker. 66,000 views. We could keep scrolling down, folks. We'll just stop right there for the time being. But you can see above that also 65,000, 65,000, 98,000, 114,000. Now, usually we're not interested in the numbers that Yellow Flash is pulling on YouTube, although we celebrate them. Why am I putting this up? Because Yellow Flash, I was trying to think of who's a good example of this. Yellow Flash covering pop culture and breaking news on YouTube. Probably, I don't know Yellow Flash's situation. I don't know if Yellow Flash has, a team behind what he does, or if it's just him going solo. I don't know. Some of you may. Yellow Flash is beating MSNBC in the demo. Because I'll guarantee you that 90% of the people in those views are in the demo. Let that settle in. If you want to know how bad it is, MSNBC, I'll guarantee you, has more overhead, more stuff they got to pay for than Yellow Flash. And this is why the legacy media is going extinct. Is because Yellow Flash is bigger than they are. They don't know it. And I'll guarantee you that the revenues in and out, the expenditures are very different in comparison. They cannot compete. They cannot compete. They have every institutional system of power behind them to support them, to lift them up, to make sure they win. Yellow Flash beats them. And I could pull up, 20 YouTube channels that you all frequent and show this to you. This is the situation. This is what's happening. Don't let the legacy media trick you. This is what's going on. They have been annihilated by the new media. Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. I was just going to say that I think they're gone. MSNBC's gone. It's they have been spun off, or are they still spinning off of Comcast, or has Comcast dumped them? Right, they're gone. Right,
they're they're toast.
Yeah, so Jen Psaki, well, for one thing, she's not going to have anything to circle back to. That's for sure. It's because it's a done deal. I don't see how they survive. If I'm an advertiser and I see these numbers, I am not paying a dime to put my money there. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm going to put it where it's going to do some good. As you were scrolling through the story, and I was looking at the advertisements on the side of the webpage, I'm going, you know what? I'm going to put my money more on this website, and because eyeballs will see this more than they're going to see Jen Psaki on MSNBC. It's just logical business sense. I'm not spending any money where it's not going to be gained back. I don't even think Pfizer would spend money to put an advertisement on MSNBC at this point in time.
Hey Ron, Jen does have something to fall back on. There's always another Chucky sequel.
She could get into comic books. I understand that might be something that she could get into. By the way, right now, Flash is got pre-orders going over on Ripasend for Golden Patriot. I haven't read it yet. I don't have that kind of access here, but just pointing out that it's at 80,000. It's only been around a few days, and the campaign's still going in July. So I think they're going to hit it.
Jonas, maybe Jen Psaki should get with Ripaverse and release a comic. What do you think?
the circle backer.
Yeah, the circle backer.
Just fit right in.
Yeah. Also, since I have the Ripasend thing up, by the way, Ripaverse announced a comic book yesterday called Saints and Sinners, which also has Drinker is writing for it, as well as Jay David, friend of the channel here, also known as Drunk 3PO. There's a whole bunch of people in this community that are doing this, and it just goes to show, MSNBC, once a vaunted name, cannot compete with the scrappy people who actually give good commentary on the news and pop culture when they want to do that. I don't know. Jen Psaki is a footnote, and we keep making the joke about the circle back thing. In the end, that's all she's going to be known for. The farce of trying to say that Joe Biden was, as Kevin said, the most alive person who has ever been alive. That is all that she's going to be known for in the end. She'll be outshined by whatever the other one was, the lady who wore the huge pantsuits. But my goodness.
Jean, whatever her name was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. Marvin, Erica, would you two like to weigh in on the situation with MSNBC and the crashing of the ratings to the point that mid-size and larger YouTube channels are devastating them?
Well, I think what you're starting to see is people on the left are just not consuming mainstream news anymore. People on the right still are, which is why, something like Fox News continues to get big ratings. I think that, the modern left just kind of isn't watching anything. They're like watching TikTok. So I really don't think that these channels have much of a prayer anymore. The entire way people consume media has shifted. and it's either get with that or get out of town.
Yeah.
That's how I put it.
That's all we got to say about that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's where we'll leave it for now with MSNBC and CNN. I know we didn't take many shots at CNN, but trust me, they're lower than MSNBC. And the question now is, how long can these entities be subsidized and yet not survive and not bring in the views and not, by the way, do what they're supposed to do, which is move the needle politically, culturally, and in society towards the direction that the big payers, the big buyers, the subsidizers are paying them to do. All right, folks, we'll cover it. We'll keep on it. Stay on it. This one's going to get worse, I think. Don't go anywhere, because next week we get new ratings, and it could be right at the edge, the precipice of the end. As ever, folks, we endeavor to have a good time here on the Pro Channel, and I have to say that spending time with you, talking about things that truly matter, like the stories that shape our lives and our culture, well, it is the ride of a lifetime to steal from Bob Iger. And that's the only thing we'll steal from Bob, because he has great security around his yacht. Folks, as we get ready to say goodbye, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, and stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear from you. And folks, worry not, for more content is still on the way. 3 or 4 times a day. Let's do 4. I think that's better. And you know what? Don't forget that the Pro Show is live Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Eastern. You can also join us for our friends on That Park Place, our partner program. We have a good time there too. Folks, until the next time we get the opportunity to have a good time with you, keep learning, keep growing, and as ever, keep having fun.
Just found out how to get WDW Pro's information, where he gets his sources. I can't believe he uses Wilton.
What?
We got a job to do. It's easy to hack into WDW Pro's computer.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. You know any other stuff?
Yeah, just Jonas Campbell told me.
Sweet.
Said Pro underpaid him or something.
A few minutes later.
There. Oh, awesome. Whatever. All I gotta do is
Whoa.
hack into this thing. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, this isn't
All
a
right,
hack.
grab this picture over here.
Leave it to me.
Oh, no. Oh, Wilson.
Job done. What?
No, all we had to do was use the picture because he uses Face Unlock. Now we gotta go to thatparkplace.com and sub to him and his team on YouTube.
Oh, well, I already did that because I'm smart.